Critic Guy, back with the BCG Star Wars Countdown, where I'll be reviewing episodes 1 through 6 of the Star Wars saga, all leading up to the premiere of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, this Friday. And today I'll be reviewing the follow-up to A New Hope, which is also widely considered by Star Wars fans and audiences alike to be the greatest Star Wars film ever made, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. A very fitting title for this film, as the Empire really throws down the gauntlet in this movie. Now, Episode 4, A New Hope, was a fun-filled action-adventure sci-fi epic, following our daring heroes as they face off against the evil and powerful Empire and come off victorious with a cheerful ending. The Empire Strikes Back is a complete 180 of that scenario and takes a much more darker turn with this saga. And in my humble opinion, it definitely paid off. The dark turn in the story made things much more interesting, much more intense, much more dire, and much more awesome. And it not only takes the story in an interesting direction, but also separates it from its predecessor to make it feel like its very own film. Not to mention how refreshing and even daring it was, especially for the time that it was released, to see an entire film where the heroes lose. On a major level and on a personal level, everybody is left damaged and defeated. I mean, actually think about what happens to our heroes in The Empire Strikes Back. Luke fails his training with Yoda and in the process loses his hand to Vader. Han is set up by his best friend, captured by a bounty hunter, and frozen in carbonite. Leia, who has gotten closer to Han and expressed her true feelings to him, in the moment has lost the love of her life, and the rebels are on the run from the Galactic Empire. It's not good times for any of our heroes. And my goodness, the Empire in this film, this is how a galactic empire should feel like. In the first film, I did feel their presence, but I never felt like they were such a looming threat. I mean, they're there and they're causing trouble, but they're not like, oh my god, they're here, oh crap, what are we gonna do? In this film, when they first find the rebel base on Hoth, you're like, oh shit. They brought their entire force, dropped those AT-AT walkers, they're like just coming there, and they blow up that rebel base, causing the rebels to have to flee. I mean, that is the Empire. That is what the Empire needs to be. But the bleak and somber tone is quite fitting, and it serves the story, since this is the middle chapter of the Star Wars saga. You need to have a point in the story where all hope is lost, our heroes are defeated, crushed by their enemies, so that in the next chapter we can see them go through the trials and tribulations and rise back to the top triumphant. And that's exactly what we get in Return of the Jedi. Making Empire Strikes Back not only an excellent film, but a perfect setup for the epic finale. Now let's talk characters. Most of the major characters from the first film are back for the sequel. Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, Darth Vader, hell, even Obi-Wan Kenobi returns as a ghostly entity that leads Luke to find Yoda, this wise Jedi Master who will teach him more about the ways of the Force. And, as I said in my Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones review, Yoda is my favorite Star Wars character. I just love this guy. He's not only wise and has vast knowledge of the Force, but he's also really powerful. And you see that here in this film, where he just uses the Force to lift Luke's X-Wing fighter right out of the swamp and lands it down. You see Luke, he's just like surprised.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
Ooh, man, that's Yoda right there, freaking badass. And he's a really great mentor for Luke. He's hard and persistent on him, but also understanding and helpful. And Frank Oz does an excellent job at bringing the character of Yoda to life, not only through his puppeteering, but also through his voice. And of course, our favorite heroes we've come to know and love from the first film are still great in this one. Luke is still a likable, relatable, and charming main protagonist and has grown into a rather strong leader. Though he does still make mistakes in this film as he's learning the Jedi way, he's still a bit naive and confrontational, but he grows through his experiences, which will then lead him to become the Jedi Knight that he was born to be. And it's not just Luke the character who has grown since the first film, but also the actor who portrays him, Mark Hamill, as his performance here in The Empire Strikes Back feels more organic, it feels more believable. It's a vast improvement from A New Hope. Han Solo is still the smooth badass he was in the first film. But this time around, and something I really appreciated, is that they gave the character much more depth. They made him a lot more relatable, and they gave him a heart as he forms really strong and dynamic relationships with both Luke and Leia. Like in the first few minutes of the film, you see Han risking his life to go find Luke, who's trapped out in the snowstorm. He risks his own life for this guy, and it shows you the strong bond and friendship that these two really share. And then there's Han and Leia. I, for one, really enjoyed their playful banter. It actually helped to build the chemistry between them and make the romance feel realistic. You listening, George? This is how you do romance, George. This is how you do it.
I love you.
I know.
Ah, that scene is epic. But just like the first film, we can't talk about the characters without bringing up the top dog himself, Darth Vader. If you thought that this character was menacing in A New Hope, he is freaking diabolical in The Empire Strikes Back. He is basically that subtitle. He is the Empire and he is striking back. He's relentless, both on the rebels and on the Empire, his fellow soldiers. If any of the soldiers were out of line or said something that just pissed him off, he wouldn't hesitate to choke and kill them. Like there's this scene where this guy, he's gonna deliver bad news to Vader. He's just like, don't worry, I'll just talk to Vader, I'll apologize and let him know about this mistake and maybe everything will be fine. We see him again, he's on the floor, suffocating, and he dies, and you just hear Vader saying, apology accepted, General, and he appoints someone else as a general. Like, he just be choking fools left to right, and he just has such a menacing presence throughout. He's just looming, and when he's fighting Luke in the Cloud City, I mean, God, he's just toying with him. He's just like, yeah, yup. Man, you sucked all too easy. Vader in The Empire Strikes Back has upped his badassery level like 3 billion% and has cemented the fact that he is one of the greatest movie villains of all time. The action in this film was pretty entertaining. I enjoyed them, especially the iconic Battle of Hoth. I mean, when you see those AT-AT walkers stomping on the snow, walking towards the rebel base, I mean, that just looks freaking awesome, and they're actually my favorite Empire vehicles. They're implausible, yes, they're way too big, but I think they look cool. I like the way that they look. And of course, the battle between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. That was some riveting shit right there. And there's just so much emotion in this fight as well. It was pretty interesting to see that, especially nearing the end. Now, I know you all know what the big twist is, but for the sake of that one person that's watching this review right now, I will not give away what the twist is. But let's just say, if I was alive in 1980, I would have been like, oh, no way. No way. Holy shit, what? That was a really well-handled twist. And finally, the visual and special effects. They looked pretty good. I really like the puppeteering that was used in this film for the AT-AT walkers, those little small guys with the 2 legs, and of course, Yoda the puppet. Really well handled. And believe this or not, I don't really have any major issues with The Empire Strikes Back. I know, shocking, especially coming from someone that's not a Star Wars fan. I bet a lot of you are probably angry saying, oh my god, Tony sold out. He jumped on the bandwagon, praising The Empire Strikes Back as one of the greatest Star Wars films ever made. But everything that I've heard from other reviewers and other people are accurate. I see them in the film, and I personally can't find a single moment or thing that bogs this film down or detracts from the story. There's only one thing in the film that bothered me personally because it went on for way too long, but it's a nitpick because it still serves the story and provides us with some great character development and character moments. And that's when the Millennium Falcon is trying to run from the Empire and they hide in this asteroid field and go into one of the asteroids. I felt like they were there for way too long, but again, it still serves the story and the characters. So with all that said, overall, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, definitely lived up to the hype. It is everything that everyone has said it is. It is an excellent Star Wars film and a perfect follow-up to A New Hope. And that's why it's gonna get a 5 out of 5 stars. It is an epic masterpiece and one of the best sequels I've ever seen. But as always, what did you guys think of this film? Do you praise it as much as everybody else does? Do you love and adore it? Or do you think it's way overhyped? Do you understand why everybody loves and praises it? You found it really boring and cliche? And let me know, what is the best movie sequel you have ever seen? Comment below and let me know. And tomorrow is the final day of the BCG Star Wars countdown with my review of Return of the Jedi. And also that very night, I will be seeing Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. After a whole year, we have finally got to the point where we can watch this film. I'm super excited. I'm not even a Star Wars fan. I just really want to see this epic movie. And so far, I've been hearing very positive things, so can't wait to see it for myself. So until then, guys, if you like seeing more Star Wars videos, more 12 Days of Anime videos, and more anime and movie reviews, and be a part of the Black Critic crew, please hit that subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'm Tony Watt II, the Black Critic Guy, and I'll see you tomorrow for the Return of the Jedi review. Till then, peace, YouTube.